Well,
But we can talk about old school movies, like just kind of like saying what people can watch, or like shows that we watch on TV or Netflix or stuff like that.
this is an issue. This is an issue that we don't know what to talk about. I'm glad that you're closer from me. We're not practicing social distancing.
Not at all. Although the other night we were.
When? The last podcast.
Yeah.
The other night.
No.
Yeah, that's how we sleep. We sleep with social distancing.
Remember I texted you and I said, I was texting you here. You were here at home and I was texting you and I was telling you that I was practicing social distancing. Remember?
My wife likes to be in her bed and then she'll text me instead of coming over and talking to me. She'll text me.
Wait, we started already?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're on.
Okay, so episode...
Hold on. All right. So now where we're at?
Episode 12.
12. It's been 12 episodes, and we've kind of been behind on posting this. Mm-hmm. This is the beginning of the second week of our quarantine, right? Some people started earlier, but I think we started a little later. Technically for me, it started Monday, last Monday.
Yeah.
And it's Monday today, and so it's been quite a week. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about all this? I mean, we've already been talking about this. We talked about this since, what episode was that? Episode 4? 5?
5, I think.
Yeah. And so, it was that episode we were talking about Kobe Bryant's death, and we started talking about coronavirus because it was just something that was already... You have been following this for a while, as we said. And do you like my jacket?
Mm-hmm. I love it.
I wanted to wear a jacket. I don't know why. And it's freaking hot.
You're funny.
But I haven't worn this jacket. I didn't even wear it in the winter. Like, I have it there, and I'm like, how come I don't wear stuff? And then I forget.
Well, you look nice.
Thank you. You always look cool, so I wanted to look cool today.
And look at me. Now I'm wearing T-shirts. I'm not wearing my jackets.
And, she can't afford the jeans.
No.
Guys. If my brother watches this, he's going to laugh because that's my parents' joke.
Really?
Yeah. And it's like the ongoing joke. Whenever you wear like ripped jeans around them, and be like, oh, you can't afford it. Can't afford jeans.
Okay, you're just trying to touch me now.
See the rejection?
So, listen.
See the rejection I get?
No rejection. So, what were we asking? What were you telling? Oh,
we were talking about, we've been talking about this subject for a bit. I wonder if people are just tired of the subject.
I don't know. I mean, that's all you see.
I get a little fed up from it. You know what I'm seeing now? A lot of my musician friends going on live and going live on social media. Man, I think yesterday it was kind of funny. We were like, I was at my friend's church at CFTN. I was helping them. I was just making sure the mix was fine on their live stream. I don't know how much I was helping, but we were all like kind of tripping out because like on Instagram you can see when everyone's live, it starts, all the circles light up.
Oh, okay.
And so we were like, dude, everybody's like live right now. Like Sunday night, everyone decided to go live. And I think there was an issue with Facebook going live because everybody was going live. Even like churches were doing like,
Is that what's happening?
Facebook. I don't know what's happening. We're trying to do a Facebook live thing for this episode, just for this moment, just to try it out. So I'm letting it go, but I noticed that you have to program it. So in 3 minutes I was going to go live. So I don't know what's going on here, but our audience over here and over here, so
okay,
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But I did something new this week that I've never done before. I started vlogging. That's kind of weird.
That's cool.
Do you like me putting a camera on your face all the time? She keeps threatening me. I think I put it on one of the vlogs. Oh, maybe I haven't yet. But you keep saying that you're going to sue me.
Well, you want to film me like just waking up. That is like, no one likes that.
But this is like a raw thing. Like I'm trying to vlog like just real stuff. Because this is like...
Okay, you want to get
what
real.
What they're seeing right now on this podcast, we get somewhat decent. I mean, more you than I. But the vlog has to be a little more. It's more real.
Okay, but that's something you decided to do, and that's great. But it doesn't mean that I'm feeling the same way. Like,
right?
Yeah.
But you're part of me, so we're in this. We're in this together. We're in this together, and so we're doing this. We're doing it because you're in my life, so you're gonna cross paths with my camera. If you cross paths with me, you cross paths with my camera.
That's not fair.
I started doing it last Sunday was like the last gig I had. Like, well, yeah, kind of the last gig. I still managed to get a gig this past weekend at a wedding, but the Sunday of the 15th, which was like Sunday night, kind of where everything started like just kind of dismantling for me in a sense.
Right.
Because Sunday I still had my casino gig, and the casino still stood strong. Governor Ducey of Arizona.
Mayor.
He's a mayor? I should know this fact.
I think.
We're really bad on this podcast. We're really bad with facts, and we have a computer right there, and we're not doing anything about it.
Yeah.
Well, the governor had said that, declaring a state of emergency, no gatherings larger than groups of 50. And there was a show at the casino. John Fogerty was going to be there. And the casino still decided to say, yeah, man, we're going to, we're still doing the concert, yada, 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 in spite of what's going on. And so people showed up, and like 30 minutes, 40 minutes into starting the beginning of the show, almost to the beginning of the show, they canceled it. And all these people were upset, and they were right there with us in the casino floor. And so we played to a bunch of angry, frustrated fans that I hope we gave them laughter and a good time. I think we did. It was a good night, but it was strange. And I went home that night. I started vlogging that day just because that day started getting weird. I've been wanting to do it. I've been talking about it, but I felt weird. Like I'm not the walk around with my camera looking at me kind of guy.
Yeah.
That's just a weird thing to do. And so that day I was like, I'm just gonna do it. Let's see. So on my way to Talking Stick was kind of like my first. I was like, I'm just gonna put my camera up and see what happens.
Right.
And I just kind of started doing it. So that Sunday for me was weird, just in that sense that that the governor announcing that, and then we didn't know where we stand. And Monday morning was just emails of cancellation, and here we are. Mm-hmm. And it's been different. My voice sounds the same. I was gonna say, it sounds clearer.
No, it sounds strong. I can tell.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I do feel stronger. I mean, if you go back to some of the podcasts, because usually by Monday, my voice is recuperating from the weekend, and it's recuperating from, Sunday night. Usually I'll end like at 12 on my last gig, and Mondays are my days off. And then Mondays like the only recoup time I have, and that's kind of when we've been recording these podcasts. And then Tuesday I'm back in the game. So, and it hasn't been like that. So
does that mean we're gonna start podcasting more, like every day?
I'm gonna ask you that, because last week, I mean, we had all the time and we let it go by, and I feel like
but we did a lot.
Is it weird that I feel like the time's been going by faster?
Yeah. Well, because so we remember we started like working on the garage, and we emptied everything out from our storage.
Like we've been finding projects. That's kind of weird. Where were these projects before? I mean, they were there, but we're just putting them aside.
Yeah, and then time. And then when we did have time, like who wanted to work? We just wanted to rest and chill. We didn't want to work.
That's true.
So we've been taking advantage of that, and we got things done, which is a good thing.
Yeah. It is a good thing. It's different. It's different to experience. It's different to see. I don't know, just what people do with their time. because everyone's at home and seeing some of the creativity that's coming out of it. That's kind of fun. I mean, I know there's creative people, anyways. You know, there's a bunch of you who are creative, but some of you guys are really trying to like seek out that creativity.
And that's awesome. I think we're all creative. I think that sometimes you just have to kind of explore, you know, and see what works for you.
I'm gonna have to figure out how to get creative with my music at home. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, I have a studio gear which I haven't used in a while. I mean, I use it, but I don't use it for work. You know, where it's like generating income. So I think it's gonna have to be. I'm gonna have to start thinking of a different way to like make money other than going to gatherings where people get drunk or eat food so get full, and I don't know. That has made me think about that a little bit more, and then what the power of social media and platforms and these kind of platforms, you know, a podcast platform or you know, Instagram, Facebook, and what they can bring, YouTube, you know.
Right.
I mean, you had something going on. You had your YouTube going for a bit. You had gained some momentum with decorating and finding a niche.
Right.
You know, but it's hard to keep up.
It is. It is, and also because, you know, I went through this this phase where, I mean, I still love decorating. I find it cool and I love it. I love that you can surround yourself with nice things, you know. But then I went through this whole thing where, I don't know, like I started realizing like, okay, once I would change the look, like what was I doing with all this stuff, you know?
What were you doing with all this stuff?
Right. So it was either going to my storage room or I would end up throwing it away or it would go to the Goodwill. And I'm like, you know what? After a year of having everything in my storage, I started realizing a lot of things. Like, I don't know if that's pretty smart. I don't know if that was wise of me to spend so much money and then put it somewhere where no one can see it. Or, you know, eventually I got to do like a boutique and I got to sell some stuff. Sell some stuff. But, you know, I still feel like it was just buying stuff and I'm not taking care of this earth per se.
Yeah.
You know, remember I kind of shared with you a little bit about that stuff, how I was feeling.
Yeah.
And so I just feel bad encouraging people and telling them, hey, you know, go to Joann's, go to Michael's, you know, or whatever. Go and buy this. Like after a while, I started feeling bad because I'm like, if it's not benefiting me, like it's already, I'm seeing how it's costing me this anxiety to know that I'm spending money and then a lot of stuff is just there. And it's practically new stuff because I would just use it for one look, you know, or whatnot, and then just put it back in my storage or... You know, it just started making, it just didn't make sense. And so I think that's why I was kind of like, I was fighting my own little battles in my mind. Like, do I want to do this? Do I not want to do this?
Right.
And I just felt bad. Like, I don't want to encourage people to go and spend their money. And even though like, I know that I've seen other videos, other YouTubers are like, oh, it's just, you know, the dollar spot at Target. It's just the Dollar Tree. It's just... But then
it adds up.
Yeah. After a month, you realize like, wait a minute, it was $3, it was $5. But then you would, you know, I know that I started even doing that. I was like, okay, you know, how much did I spend? And sometimes even just at the dollar store or at the Target dollar spot, it would come out to like $150 a month.
Oh man.
And then, you know, it seems like,
ouch, my wallet.
Well, you know, look at right now, you know, these are the times where we're like, I could have saved that money, you know?
Oh man, I'm sure. I mean, we started thinking about this, you know, like, man, were we prepared, you know, for something like this? I mean, saving is something that we don't really talk about in our culture. I saw not too long ago, remember we see videos of Gary V. I like checking out Gary V a lot. Gary Vaynerchuk. That's his name, but short Gary V. And, you know, for a while, he's been talking about people like saying, dude, we don't talk about this. We talk about a lot about spending, what we get and how we spend this. And, you know, we spend to show off. We spend to like boast. We even spend, even as a like an entrepreneur, we spend to show that we have the equipment, so therefore we're legit.
Right.
We try to legitimize ourselves or our businesses or our family or our persona or our reputation with stuff, but we don't boast about saving. We don't talk about saving, and we don't create a saving culture because it's needed, and it's like a wise thing, And I see it now, and I'm like, man, this is what he was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the moments that we need to realize. I think, maybe now hear me out. I understand the cases. What I was just reading the cases earlier. We're the United States, 43,000 cases as of today. This is from New York Times, March 23rd. It was updated at 9:43. So, 43,000 cases. We're the third, nation with the highest cases of coronavirus. We have 536 deaths already in this nation. So that's a lot. My sympathies go with all the people, and of course, China and Italy now being like 6,000 deaths. That's a lot of deaths.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but those are the ones that we know of,
right.
Oh,
we can get into this. I know we can.
Yeah, I mean, I saw this whole interview of this one young guy. He was practically dying in his house, and he was talking about that. Like, what about those people? They don't even know that they're dead. They're in their apartments or in their house, dying because a lot of these people try to go, they went to go get help and they couldn't. Like, they turned them back, or they said we don't have tests, So,
well, I read earlier about a man who found his girlfriend dead in the kitchen. I was just reading this this morning. Was it this morning or earlier? She had coronavirus. She had light symptoms, and she, they were practicing social distancing. He called her. She didn't answer. And went to. And she's still waiting his results. Also, she was, she tested negative for the flu, negative for like a lot of stuff. So she's like, well, it's got to be. And so she was waiting for her results, and he found her dead in her kitchen. Like, he went to go find out if she was fine.
Right.
And then he was afraid to hold her, but he's like, I had to hold her. Like, she was dead in my arms. Like,
that's crazy.
Like, that's a sad. These stories, like, they break my heart. And so, but here's a thought, and bear with me. I don't want to be insensitive, or, but what if some of this is also for us to reset a little bit? Maybe like for us to think a little bit and recap just a little bit. What's important? We're staying home, and I like being home. I don't mind being home. I love being home with you, and I know the pups love us being home for sure, and my son being home, and I know he's young, so part of him also wants to be like, oh, my parents are so annoying. But hear me out. Like, how many homes out there can't be quarantined together normally? They have to keep themselves busy because there's no communication at home, or there's just friction at home because of issues that haven't been addressed because we've been so busy with our life.
Mm-hmm.
What if part of this is going to bring us just to like really reflect on what's important?
Mm-hmm.
Really reflect on what matters, and yes, bills matters. And trust me, I'm the first guy there. I mean, I'm in the entertainment business, and the entertainers are the first ones they boot out, But what if it's also a wake-up call for us as a nation and as a country to really get, our mindset together? It isn't always about things.
Mm-hmm.
It isn't always about, work, and hustle, and getting that grind, get that money. We say that a lot, get that money, bro,
Mm-hmm.
And so what if this is, when all is said and done, this is just going to make us recap a little bit, think a little bit, value what we do have. You know, where was I going with this? I was going somewhere with this, but I don't know. It's just it's crazy. It's sad. It's interesting to see. I'm keeping a close eye for it. I also want to encourage everybody who listens to me or watches us, listens to us. Support your favorite artist. If they have material out, the best way they're going to see something in return for work they've put into it is by buying their stuff. I mean, streaming has gotten better, but the best way is just buying their stuff. Buy it and stream it. You're streaming already, just buy it. I mean, it's an album. A lot of money was put into that.
Yeah.
Support it. Just really do support these artists, and my heart goes out for them right now.
Yeah. And what I was thinking that we can do too is find out, who's putting like content out there. And I know I saw a few posts that they'll be taking, like, I think you can, like, what is it? That thing where you can
take like Venmo or a cash app and make donations and
maybe
tips, digital tips.
Yeah, maybe on our on Purpose Talk, like on our Instagram, we can see who's doing that. So then they can follow them and watch them, and I mean, they're still working. See, and it's kind of funny, like, this is my take on musicians and people that do this for a living.
What is your take on musicians?
I think it's a beautiful talent. I think it takes a lot of work. I think it's a lot of dedication, and sometimes I feel like people view it as like, what is fun? Like it's not a job. And I realized that with a lot of people, the way that they would like approach you or the way that they would like talk about it. Like, oh my God, like that's so fun. He's just, he gets to play. And I'm like thinking inside of me, like, they don't know like everything that it requires, like even you packing the car every night. Like you're by the time you're in the car, you're like sweaty and already going to your gig tired. You get there and you have to set up, and then on top of that, you have to smile, make everybody feel nice, and you want to make sure that people engage with you. It's a lot. It's work, and they just think like, oh, that's great. They're musicians, and that's where I'm like, sometimes I feel like there is people that they don't get it, like they don't appreciate what it really means, to be a musician, to be an artist, to put yourself out there like that. And I mean, I've seen it, and I live it with you, I've got to, even help you, like even when your back has gone out,
So one time my back went out.
Yeah.
And it was like, a whole week? I mean, my back went out to the point where I couldn't move, right? So I was out for a whole week, and then I had to go back to work. I was like, dude, I got to work.
Yeah, you couldn't cancel a lot of stuff either.
So she would go with me to the gigs. That's how awesome she is. She would go with me to the gigs, and she would set up everything. And I would feel embarrassed. I really would.
Yeah.
Because like people would look at me and was like, what an ass. What an ass. How come we don't help her? Like, she's carrying the speaker. And I'd be like, I try to like, just because I could see their faces. And I'm like, and I mean, to the people I could explain it to, I'd be like, I swear I'm not like this.
Right.
Just, I can't. My back is like, obviously how to explain it, but not everybody. I can't explain it to everybody, so they would just look at me like with this evil eye, like, you're terrible.
Yeah.
You're a horrible human being. That look.
Yeah, but I would tell you not to pay attention. Like, they don't know,
I know. And I mean, those were crazy times, and you have helped me, yeah. Yeah,
no, but that's when I realized, like, all the work you put into it. Like, I'm like, man, this is not easy. You still have to set up. And then you want to, there's places that you even go the extra mile, not smile.
I do go the extra smile.
That too. And then you put...
Hold on.
Oh, boy. And then And then you put lights and
You do say I'm
behind.
friendly. So.
You are super friendly.
Sometimes
And-
I get in trouble.
Yeah, he doesn't know when to stop. But anyways, you put a lot of lights and it can be, it's work.
Yeah.
know?
I feel the corporate gigs and the wedding gigs tend to be the biggest work. And, and obviously that's why the pay is bigger too, why we charge more for that. But even like that, people, man, they just, they don't like to pay. And I'm like, who did I hear this from? I'm trying to remember. I've had so many conversations with musicians, and they would complain about how much they were charging. I was like, and they told them, I want to tell you something. Call plumber and tell them that you're going to do 6 hours worth of work, and then call me back and ask him how much he charges for that, and then let me know if I'm being unreasonable with my time. And that, I guess, because he was complaining for a corporate gig, and because you time it out. I mean, usually they go, okay, I want you to do 3 hours of work, but 3 hours of work, it's actually 5 or 6. Because of the setup and the teardown.
Yeah.
So it's never the time that's set. That's the time we're going to perform.
Right.
But you got to think about everything, the setup, and
Yeah.
so I think the person called back, okay, like, oh, you're being reasonable, like,
Yeah.
because I think the plumber like charged like it was like ridiculous for like 6 hours of work. So,
But it doesn't even start there. It starts with the phone call or with the emails. Like, like I see you. When, you have to follow up with everybody. You have to be on top of things. You have to make, like, it goes, there's so much into it. Contracts, you have to go back and forth. It's not something that is just like, okay, cool, this is going to be like, no, it requires a lot of time. Every morning you're in your laptop, you're doing all your contracts, you're signing things, you're turning them back in. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it starts there, and that's your time. And see, a lot of people don't see that, So anyways, that's what I'm saying. Like, it'd be really nice for people to start realizing how much work it goes into, being a musician, being a singer, being, like it. I mean, I get those people that are famous, they get everything done for them, but even then, it's still work.
it's still a lot of work.
Yeah.
I mean, to put a tour together, I mean, and that's as fun as it is to go watch it and be entertained. The amount of work you put into that, it is pretty extensive. Like, if you think about it,
Yeah.
like the Super Bowl that happened this year, right? I watched J-Lo and Shakira and whatever you want to say,
Shakira.
right? Shakira, the proper way. I was trying to say the.
We're correcting each other on this
I play at
podcast.
this spot called Hermosa Inn.
Uh-huh.
I say Hermosa Inn because that's actually how you say it. And they go, where? Hermosa Inn. Huh? So I have to say Hermosa. And the other place I do that is Mesa.
Yeah.
I go, oh yeah, it's over there in Mesa. I mean, that's the word.
Yeah.
Mesa means table in Spanish. It's a Spanish word. I go, Mesa? Where? I have to say Mesa. It's just funny. Anyways, Shakira and J-Lo. And say what you want, whatever you want to say. But the amount of detail put in that, I was watching the documentary of Adam Blackstone, which was the MD for that show. And just the work that you have to put for the band to play, like everything, all the hits for the dances and all the arrangements. I mean, the amount of work that goes into that is...
It's a whole production. It's a
like
whole...
my mind, I love it.
Yeah.
But also my mind just goes, oh my goodness. It's just like, I look at it, like if I think about it, sometimes it feels like it's just a big wave. But it's just incredible. It's incredible to see the amount of work that goes into a show like that. And so, it's funny. I see people just bashing, or they give. Everyone has an opinion. Social media just gives access for everybody to have an opinion, and everyone's a reviewer.
Right.
Everyone knows what's a good show. What I see is the work. There's a lot of work in shows. Yes, some people I expect better as far as singing wise, technical, we can get all technical, whatever. But when I see the amount of work that something's put, there is a respect to that you just cannot.
Yeah.
You cannot go without giving it. You can't give that prop, and you got to give credit where credit is due, and quite honestly, that's one of the places where I see it. And that's just one example. There's a lot of shows where I see it. I got to see Paul McCartney last year, and I've talked about this, and the amount, I love that show. I really do. And let me tell you why I like that show. Just because it's not a hoopla of over the top production, but it was produced. But Paul McCartney sang for 3 hours. 3 hours at 77 years old and didn't take a break. I sing 3 hours a night and I'm usually dying. And this man is just like, my respects, man. I was just like, how do I get to that point?
Right.
And still love what you do. I don't want to be jaded. I don't ever want to be jaded. Maybe this time in my life right now is for me to like really appreciate. I really do appreciate it. And I do love playing. And I do. Mm-hmm. But sometimes I could feel like a job. Sometimes I could feel like just like a routine.
Well, it is a job.
Well, it is. Yes, it is. But I love it so much that it doesn't feel like that most of the times.
Right.
Sometimes, the environment can be heavy. Sometimes it's just not clicking right. There's just a whole bunch of elements
right.
that I don't need to get into. But just stuff that's not in my control, and it just doesn't make it cool. And then, when people are not appreciative, when people are not like, cool, sometimes it just makes it heavy, And this is why I would say, like, support local artists. What's the best way to support someone? I hope some musician friends of mine are listening here, and they agree with me. The best way to support someone is letting them do their thing. Sometimes I'm singing and then they're telling me what I should be singing. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you have a list for a reason. You have a list because you've chosen songs that, goes with a vibe you're trying to do. Everyone has a vibe. I am not a certain vibe, but somebody else might be. Mm-hmm. And so you sit there and you listen to what they have to say and what they have to give and just appreciate it. Listening is probably the best thing, the best energy I pick up. The best energy I have sometimes are not even the full floor dancing of people. And it's actually when I have everyone's attention and everyone's appreciating what we're doing. Mm-hmm. That's the best energy I think any performer can receive. Like the energy of an audience that really is paying attention to you, really is listening to you, and they're really appreciating what you're giving and what you're interpreting. And most of the times it's not your song. Obviously it's not your song. Right. But a lot of singers I know here in town, I've taken the time to learn the song and then give it their twist, give it their taste, because we're not the original artists and we never will be.
But to people's defense, like, you have to also view it from another perspective, because just people that go hear you guys or even just hang out and then they get to see, like, hey, there's a live band, that's awesome. And they sit down and then they're just loving and enjoying the song and they feel like getting up and like just dancing. Like, to them, that's the ultimate. If you make somebody dance, to a lot of people, that's like, wow, they made me dance. Like, that's... Yeah. So
no, and I have had a good crowd with dancing crowd. And I'm not saying that, but sometimes the dancing crowd are the ones that suck the energy out of you. Sometimes,
yeah, because they don't know when to stop and they keep asking and they want to just they want you to please them. But
right,
you also have to understand,
and they're not understanding there's more of them.
Right, but you also have to view that they're there to have a good time too.
Yeah, true.
So, and then not everybody can dance to anything. Like, there's a lot of people that go hear music and they're like, oh, they were so like sad. Like, I didn't even feel like dancing. Like, they didn't even make me, like, I felt nothing, like there was no, so it's not a bad thing. Like, you also have to view it that way.
No, you're right.
But I get you.
Because why she's a level-headed one.
No, I get it as you being like, a singer, a musician. I know what that means. Like, I know your ideal setup. I know it. You don't have to tell me. I know what that looks like.
Yeah.
But you also have to understand other people's perspective, and what makes you happy might not make other people happy. But other people sometimes, there's been times where you're like, oh, I don't know how I feel, and then everybody was having a blast.
True.
That
is true too. Or like, I don't know if people are receiving it, everyone having a good time.
Yeah, and then you end up having an amazing amount of tips. And then
I do like that part.
Yeah, and then there's times where you feel like, man, we were on fire tonight. It was so cool. We were grooving.
Right, and nobody cared.
Yeah, and then you have like nothing in tips.
No, but also like the audience, like, I don't care. There's been the funniest nights are like when nobody's there, and we're like, the band sounds great. Like, we're like clicking like ever. Like, it's just like everything's like good.
Right.
And like, where are the crowd now?
Yeah.
That's true, man. That happens.
But
performing is an interesting thing. It's entertainment is funny. I like the you never know what you're gonna get kind of thing. No one night is ever
the same.
It's probably why I love this job.
Mm-hmm. I think
probably
so.
why I love what I do. It's just so unpredictable. If I wanted a predictable job, I would just get a regular job. But
right.
It's just unpredictable. It's unreal. It's beautiful. We love it. And you know what? A lot of singers that that you probably follow, they love what they do. Just respect them.
Yeah.
Love on them, And in this time, show them some love. Go buy a CD. Go purchase any merchandise they have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I need to work on an album.
You do.
Yeah. The oldest album I have right now, the only album I have online is 13 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I'm due for one. And it's on Spanish. So if you don't know any Spanish, you're out of luck. Unless you just love listening to Spanish music and you don't care about...
and it's a Christian...
It's a Christian Spanish album. I used to travel with a Christian band for a long time. So that was my range for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think during this quarantine, whatever we're calling this quarantine time, this is something I'm really like thinking about starting up again, because I have it sitting there in my computer. I even know what the album is going to be called, but I haven't finished all the songs.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully now that you'll have time,
Hey, we're doing more social media stuff, that's for sure.
Yeah.
You should check out her latest post on her YouTube channel. She did a dance to a song called Tremble. Beautiful song by a band called Mosaic MSC. It's from a church out in LA called Mosaic. And just the team wrote this awesome song. And I think it's such a fitting song for what we're going through now.
Mm-hmm.
And finding refuge and finding hope in God in these moments. And I think it's a great tune. So I love that you've been posting more. I know I've been getting more like feedback from people like saying, hey, she should do more. I was like, she should do more. So anyways, that's kind of cool. So we've been a little more active on social media this week, which is new for us. But what other thing do you think you're going to start doing, or projects that you want to do?
I don't know. There's other stuff I need to do too, but I'm enjoying it. I don't, I'm not being like, I'm just going for it,
That's how it's had to be.
Yeah. I told myself, starting, and I don't want to say that was kind of like my New Year resolution. No, but I told myself like, I have to start thinking differently, and I want to just do things that I would never usually do. That's kind of just the thing that I told myself, like all the things that I'm always like, I don't know, I don't care. I'm like, I should care. I should do it. Just do it. Just,
Let's stop overthinking stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. That's probably why I haven't finished my album.
Yeah.
Or even any single for that matter. I mean,
Well,
I got friends that I think they poop their freaking album, because how the heck do they do it so fast?
I think this is our thing. We're never happy. Like, it's never good enough. Like,
that's true.
And we've had a lot of projects that we had started, and then we're like, we don't. And then we
overthink it.
Yeah, and then we go back and we're like, that's actually pretty good. So I think we kind of decided that we're going to stop having that mentality.
Yeah.
You know, because we know what? There isn't such a thing as perfection. There isn't. And if it can just, I'm seeing it this way. This is what I have to offer. Take it or leave it. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is who I am.
This is kind of how it is here right now, what we're doing this podcast.
Yeah.
This is what we have to offer.
Yeah. This is
Take
who
it
we
or
are.
leave it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I encourage you guys to do something different for yourselves.
Yeah.
Right? Push yourself to think just a little bit different.
Yeah.
We're going through a weird time, so maybe not everything lasts forever.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, what are you going to do? Are you going to just watch everything go by? Or are you going to go, man, I should do this?
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
Yeah. I mean, what you can do, in the realm where you're living, because you can't do a lot of things as far as like going out.
No. But I'm saying I'm sure there's people out there that wanted to write a book.
Yeah, and it's true. You
can start writing a book.
Yeah, a lot of things do start at home. Even the fact when you dream, you're at home sometimes, you're at night thinking.
What about if somebody wanted to start a garden to grow their own fruits and vegetables?
Yeah, that's awesome. I've thought about that too, like 2 times this last month.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's stopping you and what's stopping our audience?
Well, I made a little bit of research, not a lot, because I wanted to see, it's so hot here in Arizona, and I was like,
but you can grow stuff. I mean, there used to be just still, I see lemon, I see oranges. Obviously.
Yeah, there is things you can, but then there is stuff that you can't,
Yeah.
But and then,
but what you can, or you can build your own greenhouse too.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I read in the end, that it kind of all depends, and you just kind of have to test it out sometimes, because it depends on the shade. It depends, like let's say I decide to do something in the backyard, right? So obviously there's a lot of different spots where I can set it, where I can do it. And so it says, why don't you test it out and see, how many hours of light you'll get on this section? So I was reading about all that.
Why don't you do it?
Because it got a little boring, to be honest with you. When I was reading all that, I was like, oh, that's just so much stuff. I don't know if I have the patience for that.
Everything takes something, though. Okay. So, I've seen you decorate. I find that boring.
Right.
Because I'm like, there's so, the right kind of white, the right kind of shade of tan. Oh, my goodness.
Right.
And you go through, meticulously, you go through stuff, and I've seen you watch videos. So I'm like, how? But, you love it. I guess you're going to have to love it, though. I mean, growing a garden has to be.
You have to have a sense of that.
What do they call it? You have a green thumb, right?
Yeah.
What do they call?
Yeah.
Some people are, my dad has that.
My grandma has that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's just some people, my dad loves to he forever is working. He's forever worked on his
backyard.
On his backyard that he never finishes. Maybe my dad should work on his backyard. That's what you should. Dad, if you're watching this, my dad's not watching this.
Plus, not only that,
who watches
he's
this?
Still working.
Your mom and my mom.
Yeah.
Our moms. Mom, tell Dad to work on the backyard. Oh, he's still working. That's right.
Yeah, he's still working.
Oh, my mom should learn how to work in the backyard so she can help him.
Yeah.
And he just moved my camera. All right. We didn't have our dogs on the couch this time because they always come down at the end.
Yeah.
Right now, Linus would have been crying to let him down.
Yeah. He's so cute.
He is. We had an issue with him this week. He started growing an ulcer on his eye. We had to put drops on him. So we're keeping an eye on. So he's wearing a cone. So he looks like a little satellite walking around our house. I go, Linus, can you move a little bit? I need to get better signal from him. I mess with him. All right, guys. Well, we're here at the 12th one. We're standing strong. We're healthy. We're safe.
Yes.
Everyone's home. I wish that for you. Stay healthy. Stay safe. And if you can't, stay at home.
Yes, unless you have to go to the groceries or
go to work. I mean, some people have to go to work, babe.
Yeah, but you know what? I do want to say something really quick that, let's be more, what is that? Let's be more caring, because I still see a lot of people, I don't know, like partying. Like, I think I saw a video, well, not here in Arizona, but in, I think, Florida, Miami. Mm-hmm. Like all these young kids that were partying, they were like having a blast. I'm like, okay, I get that. I can get their mentality and everything.
Well, it's their time of their life for it. This is the time where they're allowed to, and then they're being told not to. I mean,
it's almost like they want to more.
Yeah. I mean, you got to remember a young person in a first world country like ours, and especially in the United States, just that entitlement of like my freedom is everything. So they're struggling with that.
Right, but you hear people from Italy and even Spain like saying, guys, they're like sending...
Yeah, but they're not going to listen to them.
No, but they're sending back like, posts and like videos like, guys, please do not, like, we did that. We didn't listen. We still went out. We still gathered together. And I mean, let's learn, at least a little bit. Let's learn that is insane. Let's be a little bit more caring towards one another. I get, sometimes it's hard to just stay at home. Like, even us, like the recording that we did, but we tried going to a place where there was no one.
Right. Your video.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like isolated in the desert.
Yeah.
We were trying to.
It was just us.
Even though security came and kicked us out after that video.
Yeah. He actually did, and he was really nice.
Yeah, he was. He waited till we finished recording, and he's like, you guys can't be private property. I was like, ooh, okay.
Yeah. But that was cool. He let us finish.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He was nice. He could have imagined we would have been arrested. We're like, we're doing this podcast from jail. But, all right. Well, stay safe. If you're young and you're ready to party, just hold it for a little bit.
Yeah, just wait a little bit.
Because eventually you'll be able to party and you'll be safe.
Yes.
And you can get as wasted as you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or you don't have to get wasted. I mean, I know you want to, but you don't have to.
Yeah.
Just saying. All right. Thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll see you guys again soon, next week.
Yes.
Or maybe this week.
Yeah. Maybe this week because we're kind of already.
Stay safe. Stay at home. Peace.
Peace.